Hola. Hola. Hey guys, Xavier here for Hum of the Earth. Signing in from the no man's land in between Mozambique and Malawi. It's been quite a long no man's land here since the border. I mean, since leaving Mozambique. I actually stopped at some point just to make sure I hadn't missed it. But it is apparently down this road somewhere. And I think stopping to ask questions will be a recurring action here. Since I haven't been connected to the internet in a few days. Another African border, another expensive visa, 75 US dollars. But one of the few things I know about Malawi is that it's a country worth visiting. So I think those 75 USDs to enter the country will be justified. I've also heard that Malawi is very densely populated and that it has the third or fourth lowest GDP per capita out of all the countries, which means it's one of the poorest countries in the world. And I know, hey, that Malawi is Madonna's country of choice for adopting African children. Oh. intersection service town of Zomba, where we spent the night last night. Or sorry, Zalewa. I ended up going to the quote-unquote expensive hotel because I heard that they had internet. But they did not have Wi-Fi, and nor was there Wi-Fi in the town at all. And the reason why I really wanted to get connected was because yesterday when I crossed the border, I took out some cash at an ATM because it was a Standard Bank, which is one of the few banks that will accept a card that's not a Visa card, which put my checkings account into overdraft because I keep most of my savings in my savings account. Usually when that happens, I'll just transfer it, but I was not able to transfer money to the checkings account, and thus I've paid an overdraft fee. So I think moving forward in Africa, I should expect situations like that, so I'll remember to keep more money in my checkings account for when I get the opportunity to take out cash from ATMs. But despite that minor frustration, I did get some great sleep. Not that I particularly need it. We're doing a shorter day to Blantyre, about 50k. I think it's going to be a nice one. I think Malawi is easiest the African country I've seen with the most cyclists on the road. Almost as many as cars. Kind of older school models that look like the wheels would almost fit with mine. Morning. Looking good.
Thank you very much. Not as good as you.
No, you look.
You are perfect.
No, I mean your outfit looks nice.
Okay. Thank you very much. From
Going to Blantyre.
From Lilongwe.
No, from the Mozambique border.
Yes.
But this morning from is it Zalewa?
Zalewa, yes. If you go as far as Liwonde,
I'm gonna bicycle through the country.
okay, just around.
Yeah.
You are from which country?
Canada.
Canada. Thank you very much. Your profession is?
I used to be a communication specialist.
You're right.
Just writing on the computer.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Thank you very much. I wish you were, right?
Yeah, have a nice day.
Thank you very much.
असुर चाहे कितना भी शक्तिशाली क्यों हो, किंतु वो असुर एक माँ से नहीं जीत सकता।
Welcome to Liwonde, Blantyre's sister city. Had a really good time in Blantyre, staying in the downtown core, the financial district, and it felt pretty cozy. Very high energy place, a lot of hustle and bustle. But still very, very welcoming. I was really enjoying my time there. It's also a very productive time. I acquired a new cell phone. From a company I'd never heard of, a Chinese company, and the brand was Techno. And I didn't really see any other phone shops in Blantyre, not that I looked that hard, but I saw a few of that store. So I bought one of their cheaper models. But unfortunately, when I was at the internet cafe and I was about to download maps for our journey through Malawi, the internet cafe ran out of internet. So apparently internet is a sparse resource here in Malawi. But before that, I did manage to do research on things that I'd want to see in Malawi. And I am pretty excited about the prospects, including Zomba, which we are headed to today. I believe it is about 80 to 100 kilometers. Again, no map, so no real way of telling. So to get myself going in the right direction, had to ask quite a few people for the road to Zomba, which ended up in pleasant conversations. So I've been having a good day so far, and hopefully the rest will go the same way. So I just passed one of the many roadblocks that I've passed here in Malawi and that I've passed in Mozambique and Zimbabwe. This one was a little bit different. A man in an army suit and machine gun pulled me over and said he wanted a drink from the bar, because I guess there's a bar there. And I just gave him like an incredulous look, not offensively so, but basically just being like, huh? And that seemed to actually do a good job of kind of discouraging him a little bit. And then another officer comes, this one clearly intoxicated, tells me that I committed an offense for not going on the right side of the cone. Which I could see which direction that was going. He wanted some kind of bribe or something. I was pretty sure they wouldn't shoot down a tourist in a crowded area. So I just told them I didn't commit an offense and I bicycled away. So that was an unexpected punctuation for the end of the day here as we arrive into Zomba, home of the Zomba plateau that we're looking at right now, and the former capital of Malawi. It looks like we are closing the day in style. Big, spacious room with 2 fans. And breakfast is included, all for the low price of 7.5 thousand kwacha, which is less than $10 US. Pretty good deal. So I went into town looking for a beer, but it was Sunday, so all the bottle stores were closed. But then I see this congregation of gentlemen seemingly having a good time, and I got myself some It's a pretty sour drink with loads of sediment. Pretty good. Really similar to the Basutu beer that I drank in Lesotho, which is in South Africa. Which the first time drinking it definitely throws you off a little bit because it's not what you're expecting, but get used to it. I actually like it now. I think it's quite strong too, which I don't mind. So I was thinking about taking a day to do some hiking, but unfortunately it's very cloudy today, so you can't see very far, especially from up there. You might not even see anything at all actually, which is where I was planning to hike to, Queen's View, which again is supposed to be nice, but just with the clouds. the payoff wouldn't have been there, unfortunately. But I think we'll still have plenty of nature opportunities as we head to Liwonde. So we've made it to the town of Liwonde, but apparently the Liwonde National Park is only 6 kilometers away from the highway. So we should probably go check that out. So unfortunately I was denied entry because I'm on a bicycle, and there's numerous dangerous animals inside the park, like lions, cheetahs, and I believe hippos. So I was not allowed inside to camp or even walk or bike around. So I guess we'll see where we can stay for the night. Nobody at this place. So some locals managed to open the gate for this other lodge here, which seems to be actually in the park. So let's see what they got. So the entrance for the national park is a whopping $25. But this lodge here, which is actually inside the park, I can get a room for less than $20, and it includes dinner and breakfast, so cheaper than the park entrance fee. And since it's in the park, might actually see some animals. It's a warthog right there.
Sama yung nigro kumaswe?
That's the middle one.
So we're now outside of Liwonde National Park, and I'm feeling grateful for the experience. When I first came here, I was kind of wondering if it was even worth it to pay the premium for this kind of eco-lodge type of place. But given all the animal action that I got to see, it was well worth the price of admission, especially since with a little bit of negotiating, my room and 2 meals was less than the entrance fee for the park, even though I was actually in the park. So that was really cool. And they had a really nice map there of Malawi, where I realized that because I was originally planning to go to Monkey Bay along Lake Malawi, that map showed me that from Monkey Bay back onto the highway it was an unpaved road, and a pretty long one. So, change of plans. No longer heading to Lake Malawi for the moment. We'll be continuing inland, heading into Malawi's highlands.
Oh. Give a guy a green, but give a man 2. So yesterday we made it to the town of Nantenje or something like that. It was 130 kilometers on the day, and naturally I wanted to celebrate with a few cervezas, but when I got into my bed I started burning up with a fever. So I didn't really get good sleep, just kept having this really stupid kind of repetitive dream. So I woke up feeling pretty bad. I did manage to eat a little bit of food as a test, but I still wasn't feeling good, so I thought I would just spend the day in bed. But around 11 o'clock, 11 a.m, it started getting really hot in the room and there was no fan. So figured, since I'm only 20 kilometers away from Lilongwe, Malawi's capital, that I would go for it. Take my time, no rush. So we arrived alive in Lilongwe. New room, but now I have a fan. So the ominous thing about malaria is that the symptoms are very common. Basically the same as having a flu. So I am currently exhibiting flu-like symptoms, but I seem to be getting better. So if I continue getting better, then I should be in the clear. But if the symptoms flare up again, then I will definitely hurry and get to a hospital. But you will have to tune into a future video to see if I indeed had malaria or not. So I've already quite enjoyed walking around Lilongwe. It is Malawi's other big city, also a population of about 1 million, the other being Blantyre. But it does feel quite different than Blantyre. In Blantyre you saw a lot of people walking around in suits, and it seemed a little bit more, at least in the district, which was the financial district that I was staying in, seemed a little bit more upscale. This seems a bit more common Malawian from what I've seen so far. But I'm looking forward to exploring and learning more about the city. So there'll be a full video of that coming up on the channel after the video city tour and history of Blantyre. Then after that we will continue our journey with or without malaria through Malawi. So going through the central and northern part of Malawi, eventually making our way to Lake Malawi, which should be pretty cool. All part of my larger journey, bicycling from Cape Town, South Africa to Cairo, Egypt. Before that I bicycled from Canada, where I'm from, all the way to southern Patagonia in Argentina. And all those videos are available on this same YouTube channel, Hum of the Earth. And if you'd like to see an interactive map of everywhere that I went and everything that I got to see and do, I have that available over on my website, followthehumoftheearth.com, where you can click on the different locations and see the different blog posts and videos that I've made of these places. If you'd like to follow my continuing adventures bicycling through Africa, You can do so by clicking on the red subscribe button below the video and clicking on the bell to be notified when new videos come out. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.